Hello and welcome to demo video number 5 of my honors project demo videos for my dental appointment system. So in this video I'll be covering how to run robot framework tests that use Selenium. So in the previous video I demoed how to install Selenium and robot framework, and then this video will be showing running those. So the first thing is you need to have the system running and all 4 containers up, and you also need, of course, to have installed everything demoed in the previous videos. And then I'll show you I made a script for running the robot tests. There's a bunch of stuff that's not really important, and then later on basically what it does is runs the robot and then runs it it gives it the directory to run in. There are some other arguments. These don't really matter. There's arguments for setting variables, and there's arguments for using variable files and so on. For some more details you can look at the robot -- help or look at the online resources and documentation for a robot. I just want to quickly draw the attention to you can use this option to specify a Python or YAML file to read variables from, and then that's with capital V or -- variable file, and lowercase v or -- variable you can set variables directly from the command line. Again, if you want more information on all of these, you should look at the online documentation at robotframework.org. So, in my case, I can just, since I've already installed all of the dependencies and the tools, and I have my containers running. If you don't already have the containers running, you can run docker compose up -vd as explained in the readme for this project. But anyway, since all of that's already set up, I can run my scripts, run robot .sh, and it looked like everything failed for some reason. I'll be back. Okay, so the problem was I don't have this pip package installed. So it's still fine that I didn't include installing that in my previous video because this is robot specific. It won't be influencing my next video on Cucumber. But what you'll need to run is this command here, Python 3-m pip install robot framework requests, and in my case I'm using version 0.7.2. Okay, then after that you run scripts, run robot test.sh. So we can see this will open our web browser, and then the web browser will be automated. Over here we can see the output being generated by robot framework, and it shows each test case that is being run, and so far all of them have passed. So in addition to just controlling what input is given to the browser, I have a bunch of assertions in each of my test cases that asserts that certain behavior is meeting the requirements. So we don't need to make any assumptions about whether things are or aren't working. We know they're working because there's also the assertions. So we don't need to try to, as a human, keep up with the speed that this is running at, because as you can see, it's moving very quickly. We can just leave the code to do what the code's supposed to do and assert and evaluate whether things are passing or failing, and do verification and validation that way. Strangely enough, it looks like one of my assertions failed, but I'm going to assume that that's probably because this is a different Firefox and Ubuntu version than what I normally test on, and I'll just ignore that for the case of demonstration. So we'll continue to run and give this output, and we can also see the automated browser as it runs. So we'll wait for that to finish. Okay, so now that it's finished, it's giving us this overall summary. Since one of the test cases failed, it's saying the entire thing failed. Specifically, it shows that there were 48 total, 47 passed, and 1 failed. This is counting the critical ones and the overall ones, because it's possible to tag tests as critical or non-critical. And by default, if you don't tag any of your tests, then they count as critical. So again, I'm assuming that the test failed only because I'm using a different Firefox and Ubuntu version than I was testing with, so it was probably something to do with version issues. But for demonstration purposes, this is sufficient to show how to run the robot tests. Thanks. Bye.